Another Wednesday night, another Survivor episode in the books, and thank God, survived is definitely the word survivor. Definitely applying to me tonight, Boy Green. I am down, as you know, and we'll get to the, our drafty board in a little bit, but I'm down to only one survivor, and that's Steven. And he was looking like he might be on the chopping block if they had voted along tribal lines, but they did not. And Shannon, the queen of positivity. I mean, she was even singing and dancing on her way out, for crying out loud. I've never seen so much positivity. Thankful, grateful, everything. She doesn't make it to the merge, and Shannon goes home tonight. Welcome. It's another edition of the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital, our Survivor after shows, or post-game shows, as we call them. Bret LaBelle, usually with us. We're searching for Bret right now. We're not quite sure exactly where he is. We know he actually was in Dublin, Ireland, last week when Jake, his Boston friend, subbed for him. We're not sure if he's made it back safely or not. We haven't heard from him. He's super reliable, so this would be a very, very out of character thing for Bret to not be here for the post-game show. We may not have him. I don't know if we will, but if he shows up, Boy Green, he's in. And if he's not, it's me and you breaking down Survivor. I got no problems with that one way or the other, my friend.
I'm getting a little nervous because we're here at the tribe headquarters, and Bret's been gone a little long. Now I'm starting to think he's looking for an idol out there. I don't know. I thought he was just going to the water well. I thought he was just collecting some sticks, and I'm like, oh, boy, it's been a little bit long. Maybe we should go start looking for Bret. So
I don't know. Maybe he met somebody over in Ireland. It could be a romance. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, possible. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was a pretty good episode tonight on Survivor. That's for sure. And like I said, I was sweating it out, Boy Green. They certainly didn't in the edit make it look like Steven had major conversations with Joanne and Sage. So I was just like, oh, boy, this is not looking good. I just think they're trying to, make us feel one way. And of course, it's just going to be Steven. This is an easy vote. I mean, after all, Uli has just been picking off the Hina tribe because the Hina keeps losing and finding itself in the minority of these tribe swaps. And we had another tribe swap tonight. And again, look, my guy didn't get sent home, but it doesn't make me feel any better about the tribe swaps. I argued for it last time. I thought it was very unfair the way that it ended up knocking Matt out of the game. I just felt that Matt was not a player, in my opinion, that deserved to go home that early, but he was just simply on the wrong side of the numbers. And then we saw it again last week with Jason, right? Was that his name? Jason?
Yes.
And he goes home just on the wrong side of the numbers. And it just seemed like this tribal lines thing is just holding right now. But finally, we have, dare I say, a break in the game. And it will be fascinating, not only what goes on going forward, but how does the Uli now 5, it was the Uli 6 until tonight, how does the remaining 3 Ulis react? Because we've already seen in the coming attractions, it's merged next week. So how are they going to react to one of their own getting knocked out, especially the very positive Shannon, who had some nice relationships, it seemed, with some of the other members of the Uli tribe. So did Sage and Joanne, jump the shark here, dare I say, a little early, Boy Green, and could we have some genuine trouble in the barrio, which I think actually would be good for this season of Survivor to see, some tribes dividing up, and let's get after this thing a lot. The merge is on now. It's a one for all for one, and let's see where the battle lines get drawn in the future rather than just this tribal line stuff. So let's see how it breaks out.
By the way, so we had, as it is in this new era of Survivor, where it starts with 3 tribes, right? We have 3 tribes broken up, and then we went to 2 because an entire tribe imploded, so they had no choice. So Kelly had to sort of force join Uli and Hina. Well, to go back to 3, which they did, right? There was 12 members tonight before the Shannon elimination. Jeff said he was sort of playing with them.
Teasing them about a possible merge. Yes.
Nate, you're like a merge. 12 is a round number. That would make a lot of sense, but there's also a chance to break them up into 3s again. So 3 tribes. So 3 tribes to 2 tribes back to 3 tribes. This is the first time in Survivor history, Lurch, that has ever happened. So think about that.
Wow.
Survivor 49, that it's ever started with 3, gone to 2, and then gone back to 3, even though, as we saw with the preview of next week's episode, it is temporary. Shout out to Mike Bloom, who covers Survivor on all social media as well. He gave that little nugget, and that's fascinating to me. And to your point, Shannon is the unfortunate victim, and Jeff sort of warned them about this, about the dangers of Survivor. You better be on it because there's no place to hide when you only have 4 people and your alliances and tribe lines are all cut up in different ways. And again, it's random. It's just a buff that you pick on a plate. Like, damn. I mean, that's Survivor and sort of, I guess, what you sort of have to embrace with this entire process, that there is obviously a large slice of luck and randomness that you just can't control, and you sort of have to embrace it. If not, you could find your way out just like Shannon did.
But I mean, look, you want to be out there on the island. You've auditioned for the show several times, and maybe someday
including this year,
But you know, I want you to put yourself in those shoes, because I don't want to be out there on an island. I like watching the show and enjoying the show. I don't want to be out there on the island. I don't want to be getting bitten by bugs and all that crazy stuff. I wouldn't last a week. I'd be like, get me out of here. All right. Yeah. So you want to do this. You want to be out there. So how would you feel if you've worked the ropes, you've built some alliances, you built some friendships, you got and you have a number 1, as they say, right? Yeah. And now all of a sudden, draw a buff off a plate. Well, now you're over there and you're number 4. Whoa, I'm number 4. How did that happen? I was at the top. Now I'm way at the bottom, and now I don't have much of a way out. And what am I going to do? How would that? Would you be okay with that as a player? I mean, I just think, man, that's a tough pill to swallow for someone who's put in the work on the island and then doesn't get to reap the benefits of some of that work.
2 things here. One, I would hope that I wouldn't just roll over and die. And we've seen it in Survivor history that some people would be and they're like, we've seen it on Survivor, and people just sing their sad song, and then up all day, it's sort of obvious we all know who's going home, and just hang out on the beach or do whatever. They're like, oh well, my Survivor journey's over, nothing I can do. I would hope that I would never roll over and just accept the circumstance. I'd be searching for an idol. I'd be desperately saying, hey man, I will do whatever it takes. You want me to do this? All right, on the next one, I can be your meat shield. I'll do whatever. I would sell whatever story I would have to sell. But I think the other part of it is this, Lurch, again, the luck factor. And we compare it to sports because we're sports talk radio host outside of this Survivor multiverse that we live in. Mm-hmm. And oblong-shaped football, and football, the sport that I love, the ball's shaped weird. It can bounce in different directions. Sometimes luck benefits you. Sometimes luck hurts you. So I would hope that would be part of the embracing. That I would just go, woe is me, and this is BS. This is unfortunate. All of us are subject to the same luck. Obviously it can bounce anyway. So again, same sort of thing. While, people could say, man, this sucks. That's how it goes out. And you could go out bitter. I don't know. I've never been in that position. So maybe I'll be different if I get a chance to go out on an island and go on that way. But I don't think so. I think I would just say, hey, man, this is part of the game. You have to embrace at the beginning. These are all predetermined, as Bret sort of explained 2 weeks ago with we're doing a tribe swap at 12. They knew that before anyone was put out on the island, or tribe swap at 12, or this advantage at 6, or this advantage at 8. And the numbers are the numbers, and you just have to roll with it.
Yeah, I hear you. I see people popping into the room. Listen, as you pop into the room, if you want to make a comment about tonight's episode, something you liked, something you didn't like, you liked all this tribe swapping, did you dig it? Throw out a question. We can throw it up on the big screen here and deal with it. As I said, it's me, Boy Green. Not sure if we're going to get Bret LaBelle. It's looking rather bleak at this point. Maybe he did get stuck over in Dublin. I was teasing Boy Green. Maybe he's still over in Europe. Maybe he didn't get back. You never know the way travel is going these days.
That's true.
You could get stuck places. So,
and by the way, if that's true, and Bret is stuck there, it's 2 a.m. right now in Dublin, Ireland. So, so I don't.
That's up though at 2 a.m.
Although we heard from Jake last week that Bret's a bit of a party animal, and he hangs out with the younger kids, and they're out till 2 or 3 in the morning, and Bret's apparently chilling with them. So he could be, if he's out there in Dublin, he could be partying it up right now. God knows. I don't want to judge. So anything is possible. Before we get to any more questions, go ahead.
Or dare I say, it could be a police emergency.
Bret that's another one.
Sergeant in Boston, and sometimes you don't always know what's going to go on when you're a cop. He indeed is not a funeral director. He is indeed a cop, just to make that very, very clear. That's a little inside Survivor joke, but I think many of you got that one. Go ahead, Boy Green.
Yeah, and I would just say for Bret, man, they seem to be pretty flexible. I guess that's pretty good when you're on Survivor and you're this police sergeant high up. He was meeting with the prince and princess semi recently when they flew into Boston.
Yes,
So
he was
he's
on
got a lot.
protection duty for the
Yeah,
prince and princess. Yes, he
so
was.
he's got a lot of pull. So I mean, they give him a lot of flexibility, which is very nice. So we
I
appreciate
think
that
it's
here.
cool. Yeah, I think it's very, very cool.
As well. But yeah, you were bringing up the fantasy draft, Lurch, so let's bring it up. So again, it's
Nobody goes
Manchild, it's Boy Green, as you can see on the screen. Then we also have Bret LaBelle, who still remains perfect. And we do a fantasy draft after seeing the first episode or two. So we also have kind of a vibe. We don't just do it blind. And then we just go around snake draft. We each pick 3 people and we go around and we do it and we base it off of whatever we base it off of. And me and Manchild, we're up against it here.
We're in big trouble. We've never been this early, 2 out for both of us. I was on the verge of going completely out tonight with Steven. Thank God I survived. Now maybe he can get back in this game. I actually think he's a pretty good player. So I think he might be able to, take this a little bit longer, at least string me along a little bit. I thought it was going to be Nate tonight. I mean, that tribe was way behind in the challenge. I don't know what the heck Christina was doing with that build and that stick and then trying to whack it. That was one of the worst efforts I've ever seen in my life in terms of trying to, and then how did they pick her to be the one to tie that? That was bad choosing right there. There's a lot of bad there, but I got to give Nate credit. When they got to that table maze, and that table maze is where you're going to win or lose the challenge. It's almost impossible that the other two sink the ball before you even get on the table maze, even as bad as Christina performed in that challenge. And that table maze is the great equalizer because you could get right to the end, just about have it drop in that last hole, and now you're starting over. And that's pretty much almost exactly what happened here. They couldn't get past that last spot. And then Nate, what I got to give him credit for is he was just cool, calm, and collected.
Yes.
Like how about him, rubbing the shoulder of his teammate, just
Sophie,
okay, so
right?
next we're going to do this, Soph. Okay, here we go, right? You're in good. Okay, let's do it. He was so deliberate, calm, cool, and collected, and that turned out to be the magic elixir to finish second in that challenge and keep things going. So I got to give a lot of credit to Nate because he clearly would have been on the chopping block. He was also in the 3-1 situation there with no Uli tribe members in the tribe of 4 that he was placed in with the tribe swap. So he was in big, big trouble. And frankly, I was kind of rooting for it, Boy Green, because I knew that Bret has Nate, and we want to see a little X right there on the board of Bret LaBelle. But Bret still unscathed with 3 very good players still with a chance to all win this game.
Yeah, I would say just going off the Nate thing, it was a little unsettling how calm Nate was. Because like Sophie, the other Sophie, not the one that you see on your screen here. It's
Sophie
the other
with an E at the end.
Yeah, it's Sophie with an E at the end. And Nate, so Sophie made it around the bend because they're working together on this puzzle. It's not just one person, it's both. Right. And if you pull it this way and I pull it this way, it goes all over the place. And Nate, when she made it around turn, he stopped and gave her a high five, went, yay, way to go, Sophie. And if I put myself in her position, I'm like, dude, come on, we got to move.
Hurry up, hurry.
Man. Don't give me a high five. Give me a high five at the end when we win this thing. Like,
right.
So again, there was just an unsettling serial killer like nature there from Nate. And I'm like, dude, we're
a serial killer, but okay.
I don't know. We just got something to focus on here, and he's just like la 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 la. But I can't, what can I say? Obviously, that strategy worked. And speaking of Nate, I want to dive into Nate here for a second because so they split up again, 2 tribes back to 3 tribes, and Nate's obviously on the outs. But he employs an interesting strategy here, Lurch. I don't know if you heard him explain it in this way, but he told a truthful statement first to the other 3 and said, hey, let me give them something just straight up truthful, and they'll be like, oh, wow, this guy's so honest. And then he's going to immediately return it with a lie sandwich and start stacking and webbing lies together. Yes. And I was hearing him explain this. I'm like, wow, this is fascinating. I don't think it's going to work, but that's a fascinating way to do it, to try to lure them in. Ooh, wow, look at this Nate guy. And then he spins the spider web around them. And obviously, from the edit, it didn't seem like they bought it at all. Yeah, but an interesting strategy, though.
It was. I thought it was actually a very clever strategy. And despite the fact that it appeared through the edit that it didn't work. But again, we'll never know for sure because that tribe did not go to tribal council. And now we're going to see the merge. So everything's going to change going forward. All right, let's break it down, Boy Green. A lot to get into on this episode. Let's start with the reward challenge where we had 2 out of 3 teams vying for grilled cheese, some brownies thrown in and some drinks as well for the winning team. Just grilled cheese for the second place team, and nothing, of course, for the losers. And I'll tell you what, I got to look at those grilled cheese sandwiches. Brett always complains about the Fijian pizza. That grilled cheese didn't look all that appetizing to me, man. I don't know what you thought about the grilled cheese, but food. I mean, these people are out there starving. They don't get much food these days. So not even your portions of rice. So any kind of food, and you are hip, hip, hooray, no matter how bad it tastes.
Well, before I go into that food, I want to go into another food, and it was the Steven Jawan dad joke off, and we have Tatsuyama here jumping in on YouTube, and thanks for interacting on the YouTube channel. How does a hamburger introduce his girlfriend? Meet Patty. And they were going back and forth on the dad jokes because Jawan came out. So Steven says, Jawan, I've been waiting to meet you this entire time. And Jawan goes, well, I'm a little cheesy. He's like, it's okay. I'm cheesy too. I love dad jokes. And Jawan's like, I love dad jokes. And they started going back and forth on dad jokes. I will tell you this. The most unsettling part for me was that this joke occurred and Steven feeds it to Jawan, and Jawan like got the joke very late and goes, ha ha ha. Yeah, good one.
Right.
And man, just fake laughing, and then my sense of being on the other side, that sounded like the worst fake laugh ever. Like that genuine relationship building would have sort of thrown me off. So I'm not sure how I would have dabbled in the action there on dad jokes trading, but appreciate that shout out there. But no, going back to you, and I want us to rate Lurch the reward challenge. So okay. The first place people got a grilled cheese sandwich, salty potato chips, tea, and brownies. That was the combo of stuff you got if you were in first place. Again, as you mentioned, for second place, you only get the grilled cheese sandwiches. So for the first place, Jeff, when Jeff does a reward challenge, he turns to everyone and says, oh, are you guys excited to look for what you're competing for? And everyone normally goes, yay, sure. Right. But every once in a while we get a, I'm not so sure if I love the prize. So rate it, Lurch, 1 to 10. Again, grilled cheese sandwiches, salty potato chips, tea, and brownies for the first place. Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being great, 1 being terrible.
I got to tell you, in terms of rating it, I have to tell you that I finally got to eat dinner during the episode. I've just had a very busy day today. Sure. So my wife was wonderful in cooking me up a little something because I need to be in front of that television and taking notes and making sure I've watched everything in the episode before we do the post game. So I'm pretty much in a cone of silence and locked in a room and don't bother me until the show's over kind of thing. And so she made me some nice ravioli tonight. But when I was hearing the food, I was like, ooh, that kind of sounds tasty because I was just generally hungry. But if I wasn't starving like I was tonight, I think I would go somewhere in the neighborhood of about a 4 on this one. I mean, I don't know that I get all that jazzed for a grilled cheese sandwich and a brownie and some salty potato chips. I mean, I guess if you're starving, it's great. But for me, I wasn't really jumping to the moon. No.
Yeah, I'm about at a 6. Salty potato chips. I'm a salty snack guy, so that I imagine would be scintillating to the palate when I've been eating nothing but coconut. So I imagine that would be a zig versus a zag situation. Grilled cheese, I'm going to be honest, I haven't had those since I was 12. I haven't really ventured out to say, you know what? I have a hankering for a grilled cheese sandwich. That really hasn't struck me yet, but that's something that would be tasty. I hate tea. Tea is disgusting. I used to live down south. Tea, not good whatsoever. So brownies, fine. I'm not a big dessert guy, but I'm not going to hate on brownies. But the tea, a little bit questionable. So I'm not sure if I would do that. We have Tatsuyama jumping back in here saying, I want rib, steak, or lamb chops. I agree. I think protein, like some meat. Like, again, I've been seeing a bunch of nothing, maybe a couple of random fish, maybe some slugs and snails apparently is getting in there. So he wants rib, steak, or lamb chops. And I love the protein that's here. Lurch, let me throw it back at you.
Steak for me, for sure. Yep.
Okay, you get to pick. You get to hand pick. It's like last will dinner, right? You're about to get the chair, and you get to pick your meal. And you're out there on Survivor, and you can hand pick your reward. What is the food you're getting?
Yeah, I think especially for Survivor, it's going to be steak. I mean, it's going to be some kind of steak because you've got protein. Steak fills you up too. It's really filling. I also just I'm a little funky with some foods. I have some food allergies, so steak is just one of those things that always digests well for me. So sometimes
that's good on an island. That's good
when you haven't eaten right. Yeah, who needs to be running off all the time? When all these conversations are going on, you don't want to spend your time, dare I say, in the bathroom. So no, steak for me, 100%.
Okay.
Ribs is definitely always a fallback for me too. So I'm kind of with the.
That's a little messy out on the island. I don't know how many napkins
it's
you're
messy,
getting.
but I like the finger licking. You get that rib sauce on you, that sweet rib sauce, and you get to lick it off your fingers. Ooh, I don't know. There's something kind of delectable about it.
Oh, maybe you can save it there, Lurch. You have that challenge, and then a little bit later, you just left some on your face. You're like, oh, I was kind of hungry. Get some of that action. I would say burger, fries, and a drink. It's just sort of classic.
A burger when you're starving is always great. A burger's always great.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
I feel like that would sort of fit. Steak will give you a little more sustainability.
That's probably true
in the long run. And I mean, if you really want to try to put good protein for the next challenge to survive the next couple of days where you're not getting fed, I think a steak is going to do you better than almost anything else out there.
But good interactions, Tatsuyama. Keep those YouTube questions coming. Love it. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube. If you're watching over on Twitter, hello. How you guys doing? Make sure you hop over to YouTube so you guys never miss one of these Survivor episodes, or else you'll just sort of randomly stumble into it every once in a while on Twitter. If you go to YouTube, you'll make sure you'll never miss it. We do these post-game, post-recap shows every Wednesday night at 9:45. Most of the episodes outside of the first and last one are more than 2 hours, and we won't be live immediately at that point because the Survivor episode will still be going on. But the bulk of all the episodes in the middle of the season are 90 minutes, so they end at 9:30, and we pop on right around 9:40, 9:45. So you guys can check out all of those episodes coming up as well. So I want to make sure we got that rating of the food in, Lurch, which is always tasty.
I thought this was an interesting moment of the show tonight, whether you thought about it. Alex's new Sophie. All right. So we have these two Sophies, right? We mixed it all up in the draft. We've told the whole story. I'm not going to tell it again. But there's Sophie B, who ends her name with just Sophi, no E, like a normal Sophie spells Sophie. She spells it differently. And then there's the other Sophie, who we haven't seen that much of, but she got into the edit a little bit tonight. Sophie with an IE at the end. All right. And that's Sophie. Now, Alex has built a relationship with the Sophie with an I, but now he finds himself in the 4-person tribe, all right, with the Sophie with the IE. And bingo, guess what happens? Now they're talking about him having a new Sophie. So let's talk about it. The Sophie or the Sophie? Do you like that he has the two Sophies? And by the way, I know Bret's about to join us because I see him jumping into the room. So we're going to bring him in here in just a second. So apparently he did find his way back from Dublin or whatever. Look at him. He looks like he's on the move. Like people can't see.
He is. Yeah, right. It's a green room, right? He's hustling throughout his house. I'm seeing him going from room to room.
It's crazy. We're not bringing him in until he's settled. But go ahead.
No, of course not. But I will tell you this, and Bret will love this, and I'm glad that we waited till now to talk about it. As soon as Sophie with an I or IE or whichever, anywho, the not Sophie Berlardi, she says, what, screw the other Sophie. Like, I'm the real Sophie. As soon as that scene happened, I wrote it in my notes and I said, I immediately thought of Manchild Bret because of how they were debating in the fantasy draft over which Sophie to take. And so I thought that was hilarious, and that's immediately where my mind went. So that part is great.
Bret is settled, so let me bring him. I mean, he was scrambling through rooms. There were lights going on and off. I don't know what was going on. Is the guy still in Dublin? Is he back?
Yeah, where are you, Bret?
No, Bret.
Where are you right now?
How are you, brother?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah, loud and clear.
I'm in Rome, and I don't know what's going on.
This is awesome. And it's
because
in the morning at Rome. What time is it in Rome?
3:10 a.m.
It's 3:10. I'm sorry, guys. I was all excited.
God,
I had it all set up to watch the show. I can't get it. Here. I tried going. I tried going on my cable at home. I couldn't. It wouldn't work here. So this is bad. But what can I help out? How can I help out here?
You definitely have first off, even having not seen the episode, there always are those things, Bret, where we can throw it back to you and say, "What did you think?" Like, for instance, I was talking to Boy Green earlier, and the reward challenge tonight, they got grilled cheese sandwiches, and we were asking for a rating on the grilled cheese sandwiches and the food. So
yeah, let's give you the full
pizza, but we can do that with you for sure.
Yeah, Bret, let's give you the full menu, and then again you can rate it.
God.
1 being terrible, 10 being great. So here's what first place in the reward challenge got. They got grilled cheese sandwiches, they got salty potato chips, they got brownies and tea.
No.
So how would you rate that?
I'd give it a -5. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, like grilled cheese sandwiches. Like this is my problem with Survivor.
Okay.
You can't keep going to the same place for rewards. You can't keep going to the sanctuary. You can't keep having this nonsense like grilled cheese sandwiches. Like people are gonna stop watching. It's ridiculous, you know. I don't think it's as bad as Survivor Pizza, but it's definitely it's up there as being, you know, some
What
of the
should it be, Brett? So it sounds like you have another idea in mind. If the Survivor chefs on the show are looking for suggestions on what they should be including moving forward, it sounds like you have some thoughts.
All they have to do is go. There's 1,000 resorts in Fiji. I've been there.
Yeah.
They could just go to a different resort. They could have different people cooking different things. I know one of the things we had was a manicure. You know, they gave us like pedicures, for crying out loud.
Okay.
Like they could
All right.
simply do something like that to make it more fun than what is going on right now. You know.
Okay. So you think it's getting a little played in some areas?
Yeah, it's done. It's done. You can't keep going to the same place. You can't keep feeding them the same food. There's no way that you're going to make grilled cheese for fun. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous.
Well, we're getting another question in here from Tatsuyama on YouTube. He says, I want an Applebee's reward challenge. I want a Castaway crash out. Yeah, what happened to all the, like, hey, here's a Lowe's challenge, and you can rebuild your camp, and here's all these.
You used to wrap the sponsors in a little bit, do some.
And I didn't mind it. I thought it was goofy.
Yeah, product placement.
That's actually, I agree. Like, even if you had like you said, like a sponsor, like Applebee's coming in, or the Outback Steakhouse coming in, like you could do something like that. It's just so lame and so boring. I get it that I feel like it's because they're not working with a lot of money, or maybe their budget's getting cut, but there's still a lot of, you can easily do a lot of fun stuff without spending a lot of money.
Because that used to be a big thing, the car challenges. Again, Tatsuyama said exactly what I was thinking, the car reward prize. And that used to be interesting because it's a car and that's cool. But also the gamesmanship of it. If you win it, do you take it? People perceive that you just won a car and what it means. If you give it away and that, like, is he playing the game or is he just being a nice guy? Look at him trying to curry favor by handing a car to someone in need. So it just had a lot of drama. I don't know why they ever took that one away.
Yeah, I remember that. That was, all the way back. It was season 2 or season 3 where Colby got that car that popped up into like a camper.
Season 2.
Yeah.
Australia.
Cool. Like, oh, look at that thing.
And it became a curse, right? Because the person who won the car ended up never winning the game. It was like a thing. So it's like if you won the car, you weren't winning the game. So
I don't know if you could talk about this, Brett. Maybe secret hush hush, but you were in Dublin, Ireland. You're in Rome now. What are you, a traveling man? What are you signing? Autographs, kissing babies. What's going on over there? International.
Hi, man. I get some vacation to burn, and
so you just traveling. You're just doing some genuine travel.
Yeah. So seeing some things. I'm having a good time. I'll tell you.
Great.
I've never been to I've never been to Italy, and it's really cool.
Italy's beautiful. Italy's very, very.
Can we confirm this, Brett? So last week you did a very nice job getting us Jake, and that was a lot of fun.
Jake was great, by the way. Did great job.
Yeah, Jake was great. So thank you. But Jake said,
he sounds just like you, by the way. Sounds just like
he does.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. Chip off the old block. And Jake said, the interesting thing is that, like, Brett's always around at these parties, and he says, you can't judge a book by its cover. Brett hangs out with us. We're out till 2 or 3 in the morning, and Brett's knocking it back with us, and Jake's like impressed, like, hey, all right, you still got it, buddy. So can we confirm that you're that you can hang with them?
Apparently, I don't still have it because I was supposed to be on this show about a half hour ago. So
I mean, 3 in the morning. I mean, that sort of seems acceptable. By the way, Brett, what are you even doing up?
For a long time. We can hold the fort for you, pal.
I couldn't.
Right off the top, I said we're going to start the show without Brett. We let the audience know that you were traveling. We knew that you were last seen in Dublin. Maybe you didn't make it back. We didn't want to make any presumptions. I said, but Brett's a very resilient guy. He shows up, man. This will be very surprising if we don't see him sometime during the show. And then all of a sudden I see you pop in there. I'm like, I can't.
But again, what are you doing up? It's 3 in the morning, for God's
sake. Yeah,
what are you doing,
I don't know. Well, because I couldn't get a fill-in.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I tried to stay up. But if I could have gotten the show on the TV screen, I probably wouldn't have
been more engaged. But that's fair.
Right. Well, do you want to know what happened, Brett? Do you want to know what happened?
Well, yeah, I would love to.
Okay, so here's a quick recap. I'm going to give you the very quick recap.
Okay, go ahead.
The quick recap is basically what they do is right out of the box, they go to a tribe swap. So they go to a reward challenge, and it's just a reward challenge for the grilled cheese and nonsense. And they just split them into 3 tribes again. So they go back to 3. And they do 4-4-4. There's 12 people. So they go 4-4-4. A random draw again, pull a buff off a plate. All right. And it ends up going pretty bad for some people. Like Steven ends up with 3 Ulis. So it's 1 Hina, 3
Ulis. Goes with
Nate
3 Hinas.
3 Hinas. It's 1 Uli, 3 Hinas. The other tribe was a little more mixed. And then, of course, eventually we had an immunity challenge. And the team that lost, the 4 members were, let me grab it.
So we had Sage, Shannon, Steven, and Jawan.
And Jawan. Okay. So they so they go to tribal, and you think, Steven, it's 3 against 1. It's 3 reds, 1 yellow. But we've been seeing it brew for a couple of weeks, Brett. The Shannon Sage thing, the disingenuous, and there was a lot of like hugging and
wait, Lurch. Wait. Let's let Brett guess. All right. So there was a Sage. There was a Sage Shannon battle. One of them made it out of the proverbial octagon. One of them did not. You guess, Brett. Who do you believe got knocked off?
That's a tough one, man.
Knowing that Jawan and Steven were the 2 variables.
Yes, right. So 3 Uli, 1 Hina.
I'm gonna say Sage.
Sage survived?
Or no, out? Got kicked off.
It was Shannon who went out.
Shannon.
Kidding. Okay. All right. Okay.
Sage convinced the others and said, man, she's a freak. Like, let's get her. And Jawan and Steven went, sure, let's do it. And yeah, Sage was able to convince Jawan, like, oh, she's been throwing your name under the bus. And he was able to get pushed around, which sort of been the season. So yeah, Shannon is out. And again, Brett, the thing I hate, I tried to bring this up to
Brett. You would have hated this. Go ahead.
I brought this up to Jake last week and says, this is something that bothers me about these new era seasons. No offense, Jake, that you were on one, but I just said,
I really thought Shannon was going to go far too. That's crazy.
Me too. I thought so too. I thought you made a lot of great relationships, but the thing that gets me is that like there's not juicier tribal councils. There is every once in a while, but they're not as juicy as they used to be. No. And Shannon gets voted out. It's 3-1. No one votes with her, and she goes, "All love, baby, all love, hug, hug, hug." And then she tried to give a hug to Sage, and Sage was like, "I'm not going to give you a hug because it would be ingenuine, but I'll give you a handshake." And which was hilarious. So there was a little juice there, but for the most part, Shannon was just cool, and was walking out. Thanks, everybody. Love you guys.
Thanks.
Like, come on, man. I would be flipping stuff. I'd be infuriated. I just got voted off my favorite show of all time. I'm not winning the $1 million. I'd be like, blank you. How could you?
Positivity.
No, I definitely would have done that, as you guys know. And look at, Shannon's probably saying, let's just do the right thing here, but I don't know. I think it's tough. In the moment, you kind of have to go crazy, right? Especially when you go out this early. I mean, you have to be mad about it. There's nothing good that comes of it, So
especially since that was her first tribal council for Shannon as well. I'll throw one in here from Tatsuyama. He comes in. Brett, I miss you on the show. I pray you get a second chance.
Well, thank you. Who said that?
Tatsuyama on YouTube. He commented in.
Well, I feel like I got a second chance tonight, showing up at 3:08, very late for the show. So I feel like that was my second chance. You know what I'm saying?
Lots of love, Brett.
I actually don't think I deserve a second chance because I couldn't even stay awake for this one. But no, I'm just kidding. We'll see. I think a lot of old school survivors are probably out. I think this new school doesn't have a place for us, sadly, which is too bad,
Hey, we'll see how Survivor 50 goes. Obviously, there's a mix of old and new, but the home court advantage, I assume, is that it's the 26 days. So that behooves, obviously, the newer players that have
so they announced that Boy Green is definitely going to be 20. No.
They have not. I'm just assuming still until, again, maybe we're going to get a surprise here sooner rather than later. I don't know why they still hold it now. The whole season's been recorded now, so who cares what information you give up? But maybe they're just trying to keep it a secret. But my guess would be 26, but I hope they surprise us. It would be with that many people. I think we have 24 castaways for season 50.
Man, I would love to see go back to 39 days. That would be.
And we're getting 2-hour episodes too for season 50, so we're going to have a lot more time to play with too.
I'd also love to see the family visit come back. I'd love to see so much. There's so much I'd love to see.
Well, COVID's
come
over, so
back.
like, what excuse do they have
I love
besides
my
being
family.
cheap bastards? You
That was
know?
No, they don't. Exactly. They're saving money. That's the only reason they would do it. So.
That's a shame because that was a good moment, I think, for people.
Hey,
I mean, it's got a cult following. It still has a lot of followers. So who's taking their money away?
yeah, that I don't know,
So
especially since I imagine, not to give Survivor any tips and tricks here, but you just say, hey, this was the Spirit Airlines flight, and you get a cheap sponsor on the show, and they pay for all the flights to come over. Like, I'm sure you guys could work all that out anyway, so it wouldn't cost that much money. Bret, you'll be happy to know, spoiler alert here from tonight's episode, is that Sophie, your Sophie,
another advantage at play.
Yeah, she got an advantage, and it is the knowledge is power advantage, which we all know. If she knows if someone has a certain something and asks them at tribal council, she could steal it. She knows her tribe mate in this new split, at least for this week before they merge all together next week, is that Rizgod. He already has something, and she says she'll try to vet out who else has some of those advantages. So do you like the knowledge is power? It seems very contentious on social media. People go back and forth about having that in the game.
no, I mean, yeah, I guess I agree with online. I think it's kind of annoying. It's just, you guys know, I'm okay with the, um, uh, having some sort of a reward. I'm sorry, advantage, but I don't know. I just think like once they start to get too creative like this, it's kind of annoying. We have idols, we have that kind of stuff. I think people are okay with that. We all understand there's an idol out there. You can go hunt for it. It's cool, but I mean, I don't know. I just think it gets ridiculous. Sadly, we're just so used to it now that we kind of just accept it. But I just think like just stick to idols, make it simple, and let everyone just play the game.
So, Bret, what's your gut say about this, right? So we all know season 50, everyone voted on all this stuff. Do you want Rice? Do you want this? Do you want idols or no idols? Advantages or no advantages? Everyone had the chance to vote out there in the universe. So unless, Bret, you're ready for conspiracy theory and they just stuffed the ballots to whatever they wanted, there's a chance that there's no advantages and no idols in season 50. Do you think that's where people voted, or did they vote for all the advantages idols?
Yeah, man, I would love to see that. I'd love to see a season where we don't have advantages or any idols. Just let them go out there and play like it's the first 7 seasons
Do
or
you think
10
they voted that
seasons.
way?
I mean,
It
I
was
would
up to the
hope.
fans. Okay.
I would hope the fans would see it too. I mean, like, I think you're just going to get that much better of a show if you do it. But I don't know. And then and you got to trust the vote that it's actually.
Any
CBS
conspiracy theories, Bret?
I'm saying CBS is going to do what CBS wants to do to make a good show.
Okay, there you go. Fair enough.
Yeah,
It's all about the dollar, as they say. It's all about the almighty dollar. Yeah,
that's right. So,
I was in television myself. I understand all that stuff. It's always the buck drives the bus 100% of the time.
I know, but I would love to see. Imagine just having them go out and play against each other for without all this advantage crap. Like, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
And I think it would balance it out. So if we get 26 days, obviously that favors the new era. Season 50 is all returning players, so it would benefit them. But if you have it no idols, that'd benefit a lot of the old school players. They're like, sweet, now you're playing in our territory. We used to have to figure it out in other ways, socially, this, that, or the other. So I think that might be a perfect complement. All right, we're playing in your guys' waters. You guys are more recent players, so you've played more recently. We're playing with 26 days, but we're not playing with all your crazy advantages. We're playing old school style. I think that would be fair for both, considering all the different things up and down, left and right there. So,
I agree. Especially if we're doing, like you said, 26 days. Like, just let them play it out for 26 days. Let's see who wins.
Well, Bret, it was in the coming attractions of last week's show. I'm so sad that you missed this, and I am saying that with great sarcasm. I am so sad that you missed Rizzo's Ozzy moment. Boy Green, what the heck was going on there? Describe it to Bret. That was just god awful. I don't know what happened there. That was terrible.
So Rizzo has a confessional, and he's like looking at all the fishing gear they have, flippers, I'm going to butcher the name now. It's just in my head. What is the fishing device? The Swahili?
The spear.
But it's got a name.
Shoots the spear,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What do they call that? Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna get me now. Oh my god, what is the?
It's like a spear gun kind of thing, but it's
Yeah.
A spear gun. No, but it's
Yeah,
not.
no, there's another name though.
there is a name for it. Yeah,
it's like I'm trying to find it, but it's gonna be hard to find not knowing the name. It's like
we
a
have
swing.
one out there. It's like it's on a black elastic.
Yeah, and then you let it go. A
Yeah.
slingshot. It's something like that. A sling something or other. I'll find it before the end of the show because that's
Hawaiian.
Thank you.
Spear? Is that what it is?
Hawaiian fishing spear.
Thank
So thank
you.
you, Tatsuyama. I believe that's it. So anywho, so Riz God is looking at all this stuff and he's like, man, all the Survivor legends of yesteryear have made their mark going out in the Fijian waters and catching some big fish. And he's like, Riz God, Rizgod, is about to carve his name. So he puts on all the gear. And he's like lining up on a log, putting on his flippers, and he starts walking on the beach. He's like, holy crap, this walking thing in flippers is very difficult. So he's walking like this goofball, trying to get to the water, waddling out there. And he gets all the way to the water. He's like, these flippers suck. I don't need these. And he chucks them back towards, the beach with all the people that are watching him. And then he attempts to go in the water with the Hawaiian, the Hawaiian fishing spear, and he trips and falls into the water on his face. And all the girls are laughing back at the beach. He attempts to try to go like 10 feet out. He can't do it, and he gives up and comes back. So it was pathetic.
Completely and utterly lame. It was really
pathetic. I love that kid though. If you've ever met him, he's a really nice guy, and I mean, look at he's a New Yorker / he's just a regular dude. So it's funny. I get a kick out of him. I'm glad to see he's still in it. I think he's probably in it for a while. So.
And Bret, in the immunity challenge was the maze that's like on the strings and you move it. Did you have that in your season? I couldn't remember whether you ever had that challenge with the maze where you move the ball.
You got to get the ball to the center, right?
You either have one person on it with two hands on it, or this one.
Oh yes,
on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. We had it with Hannah, and I think
how hard is that? How hard is that challenge? Talk about that.
It's difficult. It's where you have two people trying to move it, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, correct.
Yeah, so you have to coordinate together, that's the hardest part, right? Because everyone's like, I'm going to do it. No, I'm going to do it. So, but no, you have to kind of work together and you have to coordinate together, and that's where the difficulty comes, especially when it's a competition and you see. You're trying to beat somebody else. So, yeah,
right.
It's hard. It's actually if you watch
ordering her partner.
Oh yeah,
just let me do it. I'm going to do it. And Michaela won the challenge.
Yeah, Michaela was all over Hannah, and it became. I love Michaela. She's my good friend. I see her at least once a year, but she is so competitive, and and she was not going to put up with Hannah doing it, and it was just so fun to watch because she's like, "No, I love you, Hannah, but let me do it."
Yeah,
she had. I love that. Michaela had the scowl. She'd give you the look, like,
"Oh man,"
she couldn't hide her emotions.
Baby, look out!
No man, when it came to something like that, just get out of her way because she's going to do it, and she was amazing at. And I was like, she could literally just look at what she had to do and figure it out. She would just figure it out mentally. She's unbelievable, and she would just get it done. But if you get in her way, she will steamroll you. She's unbelievable.
It's crazy to think how she got eliminated the first time. Is she huddles everyone up before tribal and she plays the stones on the sand and explains that these 3 equals these 2, which equals these 4. And then I think it was Jay, actually, your buddy Jay, who went like, whoa, Michaela is way smarter than I thought. We got to immediately get rid of her. And Michaela, that was the nasty tribal where she turns around and says, was it you, Jay? And Jay's like, it was me. And then it got incredibly uncomfortable. That was one of my favorite tribals. Yeah. So
I'll never forget that tribal because I was my head was on the chopping block right then and there. But it was she was crazy, and I actually thought she was going to hit Jay. She was so mad at him in a fun way. I mean, she was mad, and it actually comes across. But Michaela is just again so competitive, and she's great. But she loves Jay now. They actually are good friends, and and she's killing it on the challenge. Like she's I mean,
that's not.
Actually, I haven't seen it in a couple of weeks, so I shouldn't say that. But I love Michaela, and I think she's a great person, and I'm happy to see that she's continuing on with the reality TV.
All right, Bret. Here's my final one, so you could get some gas dark sleep at 3 in the morning. For God's sake,
go back to sleep. Bret, please don't feel bad. By the way,
I'm a dedicated guy
in Rome to get on the line with us. Please don't feel bad.
No, absolutely not at all. My final one is this, and Lurch talked about it. The coming attractions. I would stay on to see what's coming up next week. And and it looks like we're finally getting the merge. So no more teasing. We are going to get it in its true form.
Good.
So we're going to get all 11 of them all together out there. I hear, everyone uses different analogies for every season, but the one that's most common is this is the playoffs. This is where things get real. Everyone's out there, and now everyone is forced to play Survivor, whether or not you've been to tribal counts or not. What's your advice or insights, both for us as people watching it and then the castaways that are out there? I know the season's already been long since recorded, but what is the insight when you get out on the island and all of a sudden now you got nowhere to hide? Everyone is you just got a bunch of people out there and you're trying to sort what's true and what's not. What is sort of the advice when merge time happens? Because it feels like it gets really real at that point.
Yeah, you just have to kind of, everyone's going to be in different situations at that time. You might be in a strong, alliance. You might be, in a strong position in your tribe. But now everything's changed, and you kind of just have to go in with kid gloves, and you just kind of have to go in with an open mind. And I think if you go in, you have a good time, and again, they don't really do like the merge. Well, I guess they do kind of do a merge feast, but like you need to kind of just go in there and have an open mind. Look at all the avenues that you have to get to the end, and find the best avenue for you. And some people are going to do it, and some people aren't. Some people are going to try and stick to oh no, I'm going to stick with my old tribe stuff, and that's going to be a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Well, Bret,
by the way, I
yeah.
believe it's called the Hawaiian sling. I know we saw a fishing spear in here. I think
Oh,
I've been
yes,
looking
yeah,
it up.
yeah, that's
and I'm
what
like,
I
what
say,
is the right word? And I'm like, Tatiana, you're very close, but what is it? I believe Hawaiian sling is what we're looking for.
There you go.
But go ahead, Lurch.
You feel better? Okay. No, I was going to say, listen, Bret, we made history tonight. All right. A post-game Survivor show with someone in Rome doing it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And somehow you contributed. So look, go to bed. Okay. Have another glass of wine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
the blenders of Rome, my friend. The food is great. The people are great. The
Survivor post-game shows are great. Yeah.
History is.
I just got to Rome today. The Pope asked me to come. He's American, and he's a Survivor fan. So he's like, Bret, you got to come to Rome. So here I am. You know what I mean? I'm drinking Roman wine. I mean, this place is just so much fun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
all right.
But no,
don't worry about it.
I still haven't seen it in the day. Okay, so it's been dark since I got here. So I'm excited to get out and see what's out there. So, but
get some sleep, pal.
Be up there.
I will. Listen, I apologize. I had this all worked out, and it fell to crap. You know what I mean?
A couple of time zones apart, man. Very understandable.
I know.
But what a trooper you are, Bret.
No worries. No worries at all.
Well, I apologize for being late. I apologize for being late. You guys are great to me, and I've been trying to make sure that somebody's on here to talk Survivor with you. So here we go. You know,
we appreciate it, buddy.
Right.
So enjoy Rome.
Yes, do. All right, and thanks.
I'll see you next week.
All right.
Okay. We'll see where Brett is at this
States,
point.
we hope. Back in the States,
it could be Nicaragua, maybe.
That was awesome.
I don't know.
I told you. I said at the beginning, I just have a feeling he's gonna show up at some point. Where the heck he is, but I didn't know he was still in Europe. So that's phenomenal.
I did not know either.
He was all the way in Rome.
Surprise.
That is fantastic. So yeah.
That he called in at 3 a.m. is unbelievable. So all of a sudden I see him.
I'm glad because knowing Bret, Bret could have gone out and remember how we had him remotely at one of the Survivor parties a couple of weeks ago, right?
Sure,
and he was literally walking the streets of Boston, and he's like talking to people, and people were saying hello. And then he went over, showed us the guy he had the cool suit, right?
Yes,
and then he gave us the tour, right? I mean, the whole thing
of the restaurant, the pop-up restaurant.
I would not want Bret at 3:00 in the morning in Rome, roaming the streets or hanging out by the Coliseum. Like bad things could happen. So I'm glad he just stayed in the hotel. He just, okay, I'm just going to do it here, and that's going to be the way it's going to go. So that was brilliant. I love that.
Wow.
I love that very, very much.
Terrific. So again,
right,
look at that. My
Green.
final thoughts are how or not what we just talked about. I mean, the level of dedication for Bret friggin' LaBelle in Rome at 3 a.m, stumbling around between Roman rooms, trying to find a good light, candle lit, perhaps. I have no idea what the hell's happening over there.
The most entertaining part, and you didn't see any of this on obviously watching
the fans
here,
there, right?
But was him getting connected,
calling in,
and then then like trying to find a room where you could turn on a light and close the door and get some privacy.
And quietly, because I imagine people are sleeping over there.
People sleeping nearby, for crying out loud. So that was Brill, as they say. Brill.
Yeah. Terrific.
So fantastic. Nothing like a Boston cop live from Rome. That is about as good as it gets.
Beautiful.
All right. That's it for tonight. So Shannon is out. Sage wins the Shannon-Sage war. And now next week, let's see how the remaining Yuli 5 feel. Now that's a merge, but how do they feel about them eating one of their own, essentially? And how is Sage going to get out of this? Or is she going to get out of this? Is this trouble on the horizon for Sage, who now let dare I say, a few people's friend leave?
And the remaining Kella, right? Because you still have Alex out there. You still have Sophie out there. You have the other Hina. So a lot of complicated pieces. We'll see what happens.
All right. So, folks, thanks again for watching. We'll be back at it again next week. Bret will be back in the States. Looking forward to it. And we will see you again for episode 7 of Survivor season 49 next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, all of you who jumped in. And we'll see you again next week. Take care.